Well, good morning, guys, and thanks for joining me here on probably what is the best beach weather day of the year. And it's actually day two of my tennis ball beach clean collection challenge. Now, if you saw last week's video, I explained a little bit about how Wilson Sporting Goods, the big sporting goods company, found my first tennis ball beach clean video where I went out and cleaned up a bunch of tennis balls. And offered to send me recycle bins, so I'm still waiting on those. They should be coming actually within the next couple days probably. But I started collecting tennis balls the last time I went out beach cleaning, and I was able to get, at my count, 180 in just a couple hours. So I know I had said in that video that getting close to 1,000 tennis balls at the beach was a bit ambitious, but that's my own personal goal. And again, I don't know if I'll be able to get quite that many, but I'm sure that I'll find many more over the next few beach cleans once these bins arrive, and then once I fill them up to ship. I don't know how how big these bins are exactly, so we'll see shortly. But I may hold on to some of those depending on how many they give me, and just continue to use those as I find more tennis balls at the beach, which I often do. Now, today I'm actually at the beach, a local beach by me where I originally started finding tennis balls. And I think that's because of the simple reason that there are tennis courts along these beautiful cliffs here. Whereas where I beach cleaned last week, there was a dog park sort of around this cove where I find all these tennis balls. And that makes sense, right? Over time, people play with their dogs with tennis balls. As opposed to here, oops, tennis ball goes over the court, over the cliff. Not my ball, not my problem anymore, right? So I have found many tennis balls here in the past, although I believe somebody organized a big community beach cleanup here a couple of weeks ago. So I'm a little concerned because there's pretty much no trash here, which again is a good thing. But one of the things that I like doing on this channel and really showing people is the fact that, yeah, I mean, it's great to get the trash that you can see, but unfortunately, there's usually a lot more lurking in the weeds and brush and that sort of stuff. And tick season is about to come, so if I'm going to get that stuff now before it gets overgrown with undergrowth and, again, ticks and other nasty spiders and that sort of thing, today's the day to do it, because it's almost going to be 70 degrees today. And once you start getting that warm, it was cold last night, but once you start getting this warm, it becomes kind of hazardous to be plucking through thorns and weeds for trash. So I'm going to head on over along these cliffs to where I know I found tennis balls in the past and start collecting. See if there's anything there, first of all. As I've always said, you never know until you get in there what you're going to find. But hey, what the heck? It's a beautiful day regardless. So come and enjoy the hike with me at the very least. And we'll probably, I suspect, be likely to find tennis balls along the way. How many exactly? I have no idea. But hey, that's part of the adventure of it, right? As we try to do good work. So yeah, get your trash pickers, bags, all that good stuff. And let's see how trashed we can get. So almost as if the beach clean gods are smiling upon me, pretty much I immediately found this old tennis ball. And I think for the simple reason that this tennis ball kind of looks like a rock as much as like a tennis ball, maybe even more so. So it may have been overlooked in that local beach cleanup because it actually is the first piece of trash I found, ironically and interestingly. So good sign that we'll probably find more, unfortunately. But also fortunately, because that's what we're here to do today. So let's keep looking. Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. See how that's up in this tide line brush? Actually, it's above the tide line brush. It's in the dunes, sort of. But the beach here is clean, but these dunes, again, and stuff is going to run off with rain back onto the beach. So it's great to get up in the stuff and get these things. So I just want to show you exactly, like I said, what I was worried about. See how, oh, dropped it. See how as this undergrowth keeps taking over, it's slowly covering up these more degraded balls that have, this has probably been here for years, honestly. And I've already plucked a few out, and I've plucked many more out before from these exact tennis side or tennis cliffside areas, I guess, for lack of a better term. So this is great that I'm here today, because in another week or two, I'm not going to be able to spot any of this in this undergrowth. So I'm going to get back at it and get as many out of here as I can while the picking is clear. So let's get some more. Oh yeah, so check this out. I can barely even spot some of these that are buried here, but actually, I just went to get my camera and now I can't find where they were buried again. That's how hard it is to see some of these that have been in here for a while. See, here we go. See, I gotta really dig into this undergrowth brush. But look at that, old tennis ball. It's like the 10th I found buried like this. So yeah, again, like I said, perfect time to get this, because in another week or two, not gonna be doable. Yeah, we're gonna keep digging now. Awesome. Oh yeah, here we go. See that? I think we've struck tennis ball gold over here. Let's dig these up for sure. Whew. All right, well, I think we're just about wrapped up here, and none too soon, because I'm starting to get a little toasty out here. It's still only, I guess, mid going into late April, but the sun is quite strong, and of course the forecast called for partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, and there is not a cloud in the sky. So it's funny how when you beach clean year round, you start to remember different kind of, I guess, tips or protocols, right, from season to season. And I'm just now remembering to bring sunscreen with me, because this is what happens and you wind up getting toast. And I say that a lot for first time beach cleaners, because you don't want to have a bad experience where you get a bad sunburn and say, oh, this kind of sucks, right? I don't want to beach clean anymore. So pro tip, even if it's spring and it's supposed to be cloudy or not that warm, start bringing sunscreen, because you don't want to get toast like me. Luckily, I don't burn too bad, but everybody will burn eventually, right? So I actually cool myself off with some seawater, which helps a little bit, but it's not it's not going to solve your problems. So and I can't wait to get swimming again, but clearly I'm rambling more than normal, as I do in warmer weather beach clean videos, because I feel like I get fried out here under the sun. And I'm sure that has nothing to do with the fact that I've collected 3 of these bags of tennis balls today in about 2 hours. I haven't counted them all, because honestly, to spill them all out here on the sand and then count them and pack them back up would take a while. So I'm just going to sort through them in the back of my car when I get back to the parking lot. But I would imagine that there's probably close to at least 200 tennis balls here, if not more. I'll put the number up here when I do count it, but that brings me almost about halfway to 1,000 tennis balls. And I guess I should reiterate the fact that it's not all about the numbers, right? I mean, whether I collect only 500 tennis balls or 1,000, that's still, figuratively speaking, a ton of tennis balls. And of course, as you saw, as I walked us through this, sort of duney, cliffy, beachside terrain, there's a ton out here, but there's a ton more buried. And I, don't like to say that I'm ever proud of myself, because as I was talking recently to the recycling company that recycles tennis balls, I sort of think of all this work as I'm the one who's not crazy by just trying to do something, right? Again, I'm not trying to make it sound like I think I'm better than anybody, because I don't, and that's exactly the point. I think it's crazy to walk by this stuff and not do anything about it. And again, it's good to see that this beach is pretty much spotless right now, other than these tennis balls and of course all the other stuff that's up in these dunes that I didn't really show you too much because we're focusing on tennis balls. But I think it's actually a good experience to share here, how obviously you can walk up and down this beach and think, hey, they beach cleaned last weekend, they did a terrific job, there's no more trash. But you go up a little bit into these dunes, and I find basically every stage of degradation of tennis ball here. So you have the ones that are like rocky cores of planets, these rubber cores that have devolved, the ones with the felt sort of melting off them, the graded felt, and then pretty fresh ones. And I think in this case, a lot of these balls are from these local tennis courts, like I said, along the cliffs here. Ball goes over, oops, you sure ain't going down to pick it up, right? And then it sits in these dunes until maybe flash flood type weather runs it off down onto the beach, and people wonder, hey, how do these tennis balls get here? And that's the same fact of a lot of this other trash, right? It might start a street side litter, runs off into the dunes here, dunes run off into the ocean, and it's like, how does this stuff get here? I actually hosted a beach clean with my friend's daughter's Girl Scout troop yesterday, actually, and that was a big question that they had as they were finding stuff. They would ask, how is this getting here? Obviously, straws and bottles and that sort of stuff seems pretty obvious, but what about batteries or light bulbs or floss picks? And they were very confused by that, and I've been very confused by that in the past. And I think the simple fact is exactly that point, that it might start from tipped over garbage cans as runoff and get down to the water, right? Eventually. Plastic is, as I told them, is in no hurry to move around and end up on the beach, right? And I think talking about this cycle and observing the cycle of how this stuff really moves and travels is really important for those reasons. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, again, every stage of, unfortunately, degradation. But I'm excited and hopeful that, again, no matter how many I get, this is making an impact. And that's sort of the point of all these videos, but certainly the tennis ball videos here, as per my sort of collaboration with Wilson and Recyclable. So I'll have their info in the link, and I'm going to go because the bugs are out, and I'm not a fan of sand spiders, and I'm sitting in the sand, so I see one over there. So I'm going to avoid that. And thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you like this stuff. Again, there's going to be a lot more interesting content to come this summer, I can guarantee that. And it really helps. It's really been interesting and awesome to just get more people involved. That's what it's all about, and just hear other people's experiences. So definitely subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And until next time, thanks again for watching, joining me, and stay safe out there, be well, and hope to see you on the beach soon.